Hey guys, this is Matt here at Owl's Nest Woodcraft, and today I'm going to put together this video for you all on how I use Carbide Create to design and cut out the triple layer stack sign. Stay tuned and enjoy the video. Started with the image that you see here in Carbide Create, and I have three layers here. And so I want to start with the background layer. Hi. Got a little helper here to kind of walk us through it. So start with the background, the base layer. And so I'll zoom in and I'll show you that. I did this out of MDF, and this base layer was 1/2 inch MDF. So I'll highlight that, click contour. I need to change this to 0.57 because it's a 1/2 inch thick, but it's a little bit deeper than that. I also want to change this from inside to outside right, and I'll go ahead and title that base layer. I do keep the, I am using the 1/8 inch end mill, and so I'll just leave that there as a default. And next. Next thing, the next stack that I want to do is I want to do this next thing here, which is kind of a background. And so if you look at the logo, the first layer that I did was black, the second layer is white, and then the third layer is purple. And so this second layer are these things right here. So I'm holding shift and I'm just clicking on all the things that are going to be in that second layer. That perfect. All right, and let's hit contour again. Now the second layer is going to be 0.27 because I'm using 1/4 inch MDF for the second and third layer, and so I'm just going to call this second layer. Hit OK. And then the last thing I want to do is I'm going to do the detailed things. There's a couple of little, I don't know, I guess you might call them accessories here on the eagle. And so I want to highlight those first. And they're going to be an outside. I'm just going to call them accessories. And then, wow, 56 minutes. Something happened there. So I had more things selected than I thought. So I'm just going to go back in there, click that off again, and let's add those back in. Whoops. And we're doing an outside cut, 0.27, accessories, down to 3 minutes. That's more like it. Then I've got an eyeball right here. That's going to be an inside cut for this. So I'm going to hit contour, inside, 0.7. I'm going to label that eye. I'll scroll out just a little bit, and you can kind of see where I'm going now. And so our last thing is going to be the eagle head and the beak. And so whenever this cuts out, we'll have the eagle outline, and it'll leave everything that's inside the orange will be left. And then inside the orange here on the beak, that will be removed. So I'm going to start with just the head, and I'm going to hit contour. And again, I want to do the outside. So I changed it to outside. It's still set at 0.7. I'm going to title this Eagle. Then I'm going to come back in. I'm going to hit there, and I'm going to identify that as an inside cut because I want that to be an inside cut. To remove that, and I'm going to label that beak. And then the last thing I'm going to do is the letters. And so I've got Asbury here, and so I'm just going through and highlighting these. I'm making sure that I click the different kind of holes in the middle and those kind of things, because make sure that we do that as they go along. Now, one of the things that might be helpful as you go through and do that is clicking the insides and just doing the insides first. That way it highlights the bit. Will go through and clean out the middle sections here and here and here and there before it cuts it out. And so I've never had a problem with that. Uh, it's always been really, really good for me. And particularly whenever you're cutting MDF, even if you're not using tabs, the MDF tends to make a dust trail that keeps that piece fitting tightly within the as it gets cut. And so I'm going to click outside for that because I want all of that letter to be kept. I'm going to title that letters. And so now we can go in and we can do a preview. We're going to be doing this on MDF. I'm going to take off the tool paths, show you a preview of kind of what that's going to look like. Again, we've got 3 layers being shown on one particular thing. So the way that I manage this is I start off and I'll do different layers. And so I'm going to minimize this one and go to another one that I've kind of put together. And so as you can see here, I'll separate these layers out by themselves. And so I'll cut this first one. And so I'll go through and I will disable everything else except for that one layer that I'm going to cut. And so you disable by right clicking and hitting disable. And so then I'll go through and I'll cut that base. And then I'll come back in. And I went through on that second layer. Well, actually, this is a combination of the second and third layers, both being cut out of 1/4 inch MDF. But we want to maximize the amount of space that we're using because material is expensive. And so I've kind of maneuvered this around on the board so that it fits nicely. And then I came back in and did the eagle head. And so I save all of my scrap, and so I was able to use a really small piece that I had for another project to cut this eagle outline with. So